perfection in the body and spirit. And so that one little New Testament with a cover glued on incorrect, one that goes to church every week, spoke to someone that's a member of the Gideon, spoke to someone that comes and speaks to you in church. So it can speak to the lost. It can speak to the found as well. I wonder how many people were saved. If 600 churches were planted as a result of that one Gideon New Testament, how many people were saved over the course of those generations? It's not about the numbers, but it's about planting the seed of God's Word. So if one Bible can make an impact, how much impact can 100 or 200 make? The Gideons of our camp set up a booth and handed out testaments at the Fall Family Days at the Octagon Barn in Gagetown last September. Most of us stay close to the booth, but one of our members, who lives out here at Shea Lake, likes to take a bag of New Testaments with him and walk around. He decided to offer them to people getting on and off the wagons as out there. Said, no thank you, already have one. So he decided, I need to change my approach. First of all, the women were a little more willing to accept a testament than the men. So he says, I'll just focus on the women. And he said, I got to change my approach. So instead of saying, would you like a Bible? He said, would you accept a blessing for your life, your health, and prosperity? And he said, the door opened. And women began to accept them, and children began to accept them. And the men were saying, thank you for that blessing, for that offering that he had made to him. And he went from handing out no testaments to 100 in like 50 minutes. And he was so excited, he went and got another Gideon to come and help him. And he said, you got to bring Bibles, and you got to see how this works. And so they spent another hour or another 50 minutes or something like that, and another 100 testaments went out to people. And Jim said, sometimes you go through the area afterwards and you see where people they've accepted them from you, and they've set them aside. You see them on top of trash cans, you see them on benches. He said, I couldn't find any. And he said the kids had a cell phone in one pocket, and they had a testament in the other. So when he called me later that day, he was on fire for the Lord. The response that he had was just overwhelming. And when he talked to the other Gideon, he said, why do you think this happens? And the other Gideon told him, I said, I think that the people are hurting, and that's why they were willing to accept the testament. I said, I think instead of asking them a question, you offered them the answer. You offered them the answer of God's Word and the blessings that come with it. We can pray for that man. He has cancer. Just recently had surgery for bladder cancer. But he is on fire for the Lord. I have one more story of how a Bible translation came to be published. Articles published just a couple of weeks ago in the Christianity Today magazine. The story is about the country of Nigeria's newest Bible translation. Many years ago, a few local workers and a blind man returned home from a clinic as believers and became evangelists to the others in their own language. The New Testament was completed in 1976, reviewed and updated in 1997. Today, the Old Testament has been completed. Roger Morlang, overseer of the project, states, my hope is that the Bible in their language could strengthen every believer, strengthen the church as a whole, and strengthen their witness to the world. The Gideon Bible app currently shows 50 languages available for Nigeria. I don't know how long it will be before this newest one is available in the Gideon Bible app, but they were handing out Bibles to those people in that community. There are 50 listed for the United States, 49 for Ukraine. The Gideons International posted a request on Facebook a couple of days ago asking for prayer for the 2,100 members of the Gideons International in Ukraine and the 3,300 across the border in Russia. Earlier this week, Ukrainian Bible Society sent out a plea for Bibles. People there have been seeking the Word, and the pastors and priests are desperate to provide it. The Gideons are responding with emergency shipments to the region